You want to know the best thing about this too? Is that all of these like people that follow Benny Johnson, all these people that follow Tim Pool, all these people that follow Dave Rubin and Lauren Southern, they're all people that say that they don't watch mainstream media because it's corrupt. And I've said like over and over and over again that there's big money in being a contrarian. There's big money in acting like you're not influenced by mainstream media. These people are doing it for money. They think Laura Loomer does this shit because Laura Loomer cares about them. They think that Benny Johnson cares about them. They think Tim Pool, David Rubin cares about them. They don't care about you. They're just like Trump, man. They care about money. I am so interested in finding out what this video is about because I keep seeing stuff about Tim Pool and it seems shady, some of the stuff he's saying. I'm going to say this allegedly, Tim Pool might be a Russian asset. So I'm going for.
So an actual Russian plant thought that Tucker Carlson's shilling for Russia was even too much. This is crazy. All right, this is a bombshell story in every sense of the word. We just received breaking news that some of the largest right-wing influencers in the conservative media sphere have been being paid off by the Kremlin to spread disinformation online and to...
No way, Lauren Southern. What a strange person to get lumped in there. Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, and then Lauren Southern. That is so trippy. You know, some of the things that I see on Twitter, like the Benny Johnson stuff, I can't help but think that these people are doing this stuff on full purpose, that they know they're full of shit. Because some of the stuff they post is so out of this world, so insane, like that I'm like, there's no way they take this stuff seriously. Because then I see them talking, and I'm like, no way this person believes this stuff. But I'll tell you what, for $10 million, allegedly, I bet they'll say some crazy shit.
Promote Donald Trump as the presidential candidate that people should vote for. Now, we've been joking about it for a while, saying that all right-wing influencers are paid by Russia, but now we have an actual CBS News article titled, U.S. says Russia funded media company that paid right-wing influencers millions for videos. And this is a topic that I'm passionate about because Russian disinformation...
So the question here is it a company that Russia funded by giving them $10 million that then suckered these dipshits? And I'm not making excuses for them either. I'm just saying, is this the link? Is this what's going to be said right here? Is that these dipshits were talked to by some company that offered them money, and they're so willing to sell out the United States of America that they were like, whatever, it's a couple $1 million in my pocket.
Is so insidious, but it's also
what up,
invisible.
Nana?
It's everywhere on social media. They are trying to spread misogyny, racism, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia. They are trying to divide everybody in America as much as they can. Because think about it, Vladimir Putin only benefits.
Yeah, and if it does make sense, because you catch one of these Tim Pools or these Dave Rubins or these Benny Johnsons, and you tell them, hey, I'll give you a little money, and all you got to do is speak out and say Ukraine's bad. And they're like, well, I do kind of actually agree with that already. So, yeah, I can take it up a notch. I can go to 11. You know, like it does make sense, right? That if somebody were to approach these people that already tend to have these like points of view of like, well, yeah, Muslims are trying to bring Sharia law. Muslims, they are extremists. And, you know, somebody comes in and says, well, I'll give you a couple $1 million to just, like, take it up a notch. Like, it does make sense. Like, I don't think you need to take it to the furthest levels with this. I don't think you need to be like, oh, like, these are straight-up Russian agents that come and, like, pay off these people and they know they're Russian agents and stuff. I think the simple answer is usually the right answer in these situations. And I bet you money that these people were approached by a company that did, you know, they assumed were some kind of legit American company, And they're like, so what? Yeah, I already said that Ukraine's bad. So, like, I take it up a notch. Who cares? Like, I already believe this stuff. That's what I think is going on right here.
It's from Donald Trump and the right-wing sycophants below him, the influencers and politicians, spreading misinformation and sowing distrust in our institutions, making all of the citizens think that it doesn't matter if you vote,
Tucker
everything
Carlson
is
should be on
rigged,
there.
the courts are rigged, Judge Merchan's daughter is rigged. It sounds familiar, right? This article reads, 2 Russian nationals working for a news network controlled by Vladimir Putin's government funneled millions of dollars to an American media company that paid right-wing influencers for videos pushing narratives favorable to the Kremlin, U.S. prosecutors alleged on Wednesday. And this actually makes me mad because these right-wing influencers you will recognize. We have talked about them many times before, and I would argue that they led directly to millions of Americans being misinformed, and those millions of Americans led to Speaker of the House Mike Johnson waiting months and months and months to give aid to Ukraine.
You want to know the best thing about this too? Is that all of these like people that follow Benny Johnson, all these people that follow Tim Pool, all these people that follow Dave Rubin and Lauren Southern, they're all people that say that they don't watch mainstream media because it's corrupt. All of these people that follow these influencers, and I've been saying this shit since the beginning, they all think they're getting the truth juice, like straight from the source. No, you don't understand. When Fox News or CNN or MSNBC get involved, that's when everything gets corrupted and you don't get to hear the real stories. And I've said like over and over and over again that there's big money in being a contrarian. There's big money in acting like you're not influenced by mainstream media. So like the idea that now you've gone to X or you've gone to Facebook or whatever your social media of choice is, and you're getting the real truth, the straight from the tap, best stuff you can get. These people are doing it for money. That's what they've been doing it for this whole time. Do you think they, like, no, I was going to say, do you think they do it because they're just true patriots and they want to give everybody the truth? No, that's what these people think. They think Laura Loomer does this shit because Laura Loomer cares about them. They think that Benny Johnson cares about them. They think Tim Pool, David Rubin cares about them. They don't care about you. They're just like Trump, man. They care about money. They like money. This does not surprise me at all.
Therefore, actually killing Ukrainian citizens in the process. So, these people have killed Ukrainian citizens. We have Benny Johnson, one of the worst people possible.
Tired.
First, let me read this tweet.
I see you
Breaking.
tired.
Kremlin agents in the U.S. with millions of Twitter followers were paid $10 million by Russia to spread disinformation and rally support for convicted felon Trump on social media per indictment unsealed by the Department of Justice. Again, a breaking story. Please leave a like, leave a comment.
And if these Trump supporters were real about this shit, if they actually like really believe the things that they believe, this would make them mad. Like if you showed me right now, like that Kamala Harris, and mind you, we're still seeing the story, so maybe there's more to come out. So I'm not knocking it yet. But if you were able to show me proof that Biden, that Kamala Harris, that Bernie, whoever is getting paid straight up money to say Russian disinformation, I would be pissed off, man. And these people say like the whole reason they follow these guys is so that way that because they're not corrupted, they don't get paid to lie to me. They're literally getting. You should be very, very mad about this. Very mad about this.
And watch till the end to help boost this in the YouTube algorithm.
What up, ninjas?
Tenet Media is based in Tennessee, and it employs Benny Johnson, the dude who debates people and is just very, very bad faith. Tim Pool, the beanie guy who has interviewed Donald Trump before.
The beanie
This man
guy.
never takes off his beanie. He constantly has it on.
Because he's
and
bald.
remember a few minutes ago when I said that these people
Let it
just
free,
exist
brother.
to sow distrust, to make sure that American citizens are confused. This is what Tim Pool's Twitter feed looked like in 2022.
Reverend, you want to know why Matt Walsh isn't on there, dude? Because I'm gonna say it. Don't hate me for this, Reverend. Matt Walsh isn't one of these guys. Matt Walsh is a weird ass dude but he's like that Jesse on Fire guy that we watched the other day, where it's like on occasion you stumble across one of these dudes that you're like, you're still weird as shit, but you're a little different. He's like you see him online fighting with the other Trump supporters. Like, you see him when Amber Rose came out and Amber Rose was talking, he was like, this is not what we should be for guys. Like, Matt Walsh is the nerdy dude, you know? I think Matt Walsh actually is 100% like into everything that he says. Like, Matt Walsh, there was this really funny one where it was talking about like how to like support other men and like men's depression, increases in suicide rate for men and all this stuff. And Matt Walsh came out and he was like, we're men. We need to be around other men. And I was like, no, dude, you're the last person that no dudes want to be around you, dog. Like, my guy, I'm not inviting you on Sunday to the football games. Like, Matt Walsh don't get to come, even though I bet you Matt Walsh he's like, but I make an amazing souffle. Okay. Like, Matt Walsh is that dude. That's why I don't think Matt Walsh is Russian disinformation. I'm going to go with that. He's a weird dude, but he's weird like in a like side quest kind of weird. Some of them are just weird. Yeah, no, I would say he's a beard. I'd say he's a beard, or he's got a beard. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he probably makes an amazing souffle. He probably shows up to the Eagles fucking Cowboys game. We're all super hyped. And we're like, we're gonna beat the shit out of Cowboys. And Matt Walsh shows up with his fucking oven mitts on, his apron still on. He's got his souffle. I brought party favors. Who wants some orange juice? Like, that's what I think when I see Matt Walsh, that's what I think about. Yeah, look at these tweets, man. Civil war, civil war, civil war, civil war. And look, like, this is like, these are all from different days. August 1st, July 23rd, an hour ago. June 14th, March 31st, March 20th, October 20th. That's 2022. Dude, these guys are full of shit. They're getting paid to grift, dog.
Or 2020 through 2022. Now,
yeah, certain dudes want to be around him.
Democrats are divisive, and Democrats sow distrust.
Yeah, Bucket, that's what I'm saying.
You are in a civil war.
Hold on, we're gonna get back to Adam. Sorry for interrupting you so much, Adam. My bad. What Bucket just said, like, people were talking about raw milk because all of these people all of a sudden are RFK fans now, and they all want to get healthy, and they all want to start shopping in health food stores now. All of these dipshits are just like realizing right now that like raw milk's a thing, and they're like, we've got to start drinking raw milk because homogenization is bad for you. And Matt Walsh is like, homogenization is not bad for you guys. It's actually it's really good. Do you guys not understand what homogenization has done for the world? Like, Matt Walsh, I'm telling you, Matt Walsh is that dude where you're like, let's go do some shit. And Matt Walsh is like, well, I don't know, guys. Is it homogenized? If it's not homogenized, guys, I don't want anything to do with it. Thought you said you about making your immune system work. I am. But I don't like to take that many risks, guys. I don't want the avian flu. I mean, I'm with him on that, though. Matt Walsh. I'm with you on that, Matt Walsh.
Democrats are divisive, and Democrats sow distrust. But he has said, you are in a civil war. Civil war. It's going to escalate to a civil war. He says civil war over and over and over, and it only makes sense that he's being paid by the Kremlin, because what do you think it does to people online when you constantly, over and over, say there's a civil war coming? But the story only gets crazier.
And these are the people that were like, Donald Trump got shot at because of the left-wing rhetoric. It's like, brother, you have a whole goddamn page of tweets going back to like 3 years ago talking about a civil war. I have a feeling that you might have had something to do with your presidential candidate getting shot at. Seems as though.
People like Dave Rubin, who works for the Daily Wire, has been taking money from the Kremlin, and Lauren Southern. Now let's read this article. An indictment unsealed in the Southern District of New York charged Konstantin Kalashnikov and Elena Afanasvaya,
some
both
Russian-ass
based in Moscow,
names right
with
there.
conspiracy to launder money and conspiracy to violate the Foreign Agents Registration Act. The indictment came as the Justice Department unveiled sprawling allegations accusing the Russian government of meddling in the 2024 elections.
No shit.
The two defendants worked for RT, a media outlet formerly known as Russia Today that is funded and controlled by the Russian government. So, if we think about it, why do you think people like Tim Pool, people like Lauren Southern, people like Benny Johnson, Dave Rubin have been saying online that we need to stop funding Ukraine? They want to rescind, pull away any military equipment that we're sending overseas, and they promote this isolationist 1939 type view where they want to make sure that we're not helping an ally abroad. And this is a direct result of them being paid by
Seems a little
Russia.
sus.
And then when I go to Trump rallies and I debate these Trump supporters on Russia and they regurgitate this stuff from Tim Pool's podcast,
what up, Tamara?
and I call it Russian disinformation like I have many times, I was actually right. I'm just feeling very vindicated right now. This article reads, a federal indictment unsealed on Wednesday alleges that a Tennessee-based media company, Tenet Media, which played home to several prominent right-leaning online commentators, was secretly a Russian government-backed influence operation. The company is accused of receiving $10 million from employees of RT, a Russian state-backed media company, as part of a scheme to create and distribute content to U.S. audiences with hidden Russian government messaging, according to Attorney General Merrick Garland. Tenet Media worked with American conservative or heterodox media figures including Dave Rubin, Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, and Lauren Southern, who variously present themselves as independent journalists, documentarians, and political commentators. They say they are crowd-funded when they're actually being funded by the Kremlin. Not all of them immediately comment on having been publicly linked to a foreign propaganda site, but
Told
Johnson
you.
soon tweeted,
What did I tell you? Oh, did not pre-watch. I mean, I shouldn't really be that proud because it's not like, I mean, this is the playbook. This is the playbook. We didn't know, guys. We didn't know. But you still knew that you were putting out Russian propaganda. It doesn't matter whether or not you knew that it was being funded by Russians or if you thought it was by conservatives. Whatever it is, you knew that you were putting out pro-Russian propaganda. You don't get to just be like, well, you know, it's not really our fault. This media group's the one that gave us the money, and they were American. We had no idea that they had Russian ties. They just wanted us to say things that were pro-Russian, and they were giving us money, so we were like, dope, we can do that. Like I said, this blows the whole goddamn, well, I follow these guys because they're not corrupt, out of the water. I don't want to hear ever again from the conspiracy theorists that email me, that message me, that come in my chat about the corrupt media. The people you guys follow are literally getting paid by Russians. I don't ever want to hear that shit again. Ever
that he
again.
and other influencers have been, quote, victims in this alleged scheme. That is wild. Trumpers are always victims. And the most disgusting part about all of this, we haven't even touched on the fact that
Always
they all
victims.
run defense for Donald Trump and his attempts to overthrow U.S. democracy. We talked about him destabilizing people and making sure that people are not trusting our elections, but he genuinely tried to overthrow American democracy. He wants to shred, terminate our Constitution. He wants to make it so that people who burn the American flag go to jail, and he wants to subvert the will of the American people, become a king, and he's been backed by these journalists. I'm not even going to call them journalists. I'm putting that in quotes, who have been being paid by the Kremlin. It actually pisses me off to an extent. The indictment alleges that not everyone affiliated with Tenet was unaware of the scheme, stating that founders 1 and 2 of the company knew the source of their funding. The founders of Tenet Media are Lauren Shen and her husband. These are also very popular right-wing influencers. Shen is a conservative influencer and YouTuber who's hosted a show on Blaze TV and who's affiliated with Turning Point USA.
So even if even if you want to claim like, oh, we didn't know because it was this Tennessee media group, even the people at the top, the people that founded the group, the people that are taking the money from these people are like the same exact people. This is like a conglomerate of right-wing conservative commentators, because like my man Anna Mockler said, they're not journalists, commentators that know each other, that circle jerk off to each other while they rub their faces in the millions of dollars that they're getting from Russia propaganda machines. You don't get to be the victim. You don't get to be the victim.
Would you guys be surprised if it came out that other people like Charlie Kirk, other people like Ben Shapiro are allegedly connected with Russia? I would not be. The indictment alleges that RT officials and founders 1 and 2, quote, also worked together to deceive 2 U.S. online commentators, commentator 1 and 2, who respectively have 2.4 and 1.3 million YouTube subscribers.
Oh.
Dave Rubin has 2.4, Tim Pool has 1.3, but Benny Johnson, who said he was a victim, is not said as being deceived. The indictment indicates that even some of the people working at Tenet found their content heavy-handed. On February 15th of this year, Afanasyev, using the name Helena Shudra, shared a video in a company Discord channel of what the indictment calls, quote, a well-known U.S. political commentator visiting a grocery store in Russia.
Tucker
While
Carlson!
he's not named in the indictment, it clearly matches Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is most likely being paid by Russia, and this only supports that, who toured a grocery store, declaring himself...
Dude. I keep saying this over and over and again, and that is that, like, I want to believe the best about right-wing conservative people in this country. Like, I want to, like, truly, like, believe that Tucker Carlson's just a moron. Benny Johnson's just a moron. Tim Pool's just a moron. But the more you get into this stuff, the more you see, the more evidence that continues to pile up, it shows that these people ain't just morons. They're selfish, greedy, the most unpatriotic people in this country. Like I said this before. Look, at the end of the day, if RFK Jr. were to make it into office, the industry that I work in will most likely explode. I'm already seeing increases from people coming in that would never come out because they're RFK supporters, right? All of a sudden they care about raw milk. All of a sudden they care about supplements. But I don't want that because I know it's bad for the country. Even though it would personally enrich me and I can make more money off that, that doesn't do me any good because I don't want other people to suffer around me. Like, I want to see America whole and healthy. I want to see Americans happy and enjoying life and well taken care of, having health care and social safety nets. Like, my short-term happiness from a bunch of dipshits all of a sudden deciding that they don't want to eat factory farm beef anymore. They finally fucking came to the light. Like that I don't need that. I don't need that. I would rather that America was healthy. I'd rather that Americans were happy. Like, this is fucking insane to me.
Slack-jawed and wonder of how nice it was, how amazing it was
What a spike
over in Russia.
What a
By the way, this was after he interviewed Putin and said that we need to stop funding Ukraine. Quote, later that day, the indictment
What a Boxford.
Producer 1 privately messaged Founder 2 on Discord. They want me to post this, referencing the video that she posted, but it just feels like overt shilling. Founder 2 replied that she thinks we should put it out there. Listen to this. So, an actual Russian plant thought Vladimir Putin's shilling for Russia was too heavy-handed. An actual Russian plant. That is too much for me to handle. Tenet's recent content on sites like YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok has been heavily larded with critical commentary about Kamala Harris. Conservative political commentator and documented plagiarist Benny Johnson, for instance.
What do you guys think? Tell me, guys. Elon Musk? What do you think? Like, if you think of this in like a mafia-style way, like, Elon Musk controls the platform that all of these people use to spread this disinformation, right? Like, you see some of this kind of stuff on Facebook, Instagram, if you don't know it, for political influencers, like, your content gets knocked way down. They sent out like a warning that was like, political content will not be seen. You are good luck with your life if this is what you make money off of, pretty much was the warning. Now, I know for like bigger people that doesn't exactly apply, but it seems like the main vehicle for all of this information is Twitter. It seems like that. And if we're talking mafia, we're talking about the dude at the top that owns the ability for all of these people to be able to spread that misinformation. And he seems to be a pretty big fan of all these people nowadays. What do you guys think? You think Elon Musk knows about this stuff? You think Elon Musk is helping it to gain traction? Because I think I do. I think I do.
Recently starred in a video about her, quote, empty words.
What about his mechanic?
And he was even outside the DNC. We had a paid shill outside the DNC trying to trap Democrats. This is crazy. This is important. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you subscribe. Peace out.
Streamline the way you...
Wow, that's insane. That is pretty crazy stuff. Like I said, this is the type of stuff that we're getting into, where for like years I would say it'll never be proven. You'll never see it. But obviously they're already working the case. These cases don't go to court unless they can prove stuff. These cases don't go to trial unless they can prove stuff. That is insane that is happening. And once again, from the very people that admonish me constantly admonish me. And I don't even watch CNN or Fox News, but they constantly admonish me for being a mainstream media shill. A person that watches all the corrupt people. Like I said, I don't want to hear another goddamn word from these people about corrupt media. The people you guys follow are being paid by Russians.